All right, so for this question, we want to try and find the values of A, B, and C. And I would argue that the first thing that you would need to do to make your life easier is actually to expand these two quadratics. So we're going to these two linear factors to make a single quadratic. So we go x squared minus x, take 2. Now, if you need to do the long expansion on a scrap piece of paper, feel free to do so. So now we've got ax squared plus bx plus c. And now it becomes a simple matter. I'll just write this. Right, I don't know why I put a 4 there. Right, so now we want to get our a value, and we can get that by saying the only way we can get this x to the 4 is to say x squared times ax squared, and because there's a 1 there, we can say straight away, well, a must be 1. The other one we can get just from observing is our c value, because minus 2 times c must give me this value here. Now, if that, instead of being minus 2, let's say that was minus, well, let's change it to plus 20, right? Then minus 2 times what gives me positive 20? Well, that would have to be minus 10. For us, it's a lot easier. It's not minus, it's not plus 20, it's minus 2. And so it's pretty straightforward that minus 2 times 1 gives me minus 2. All right, so what we have now is that this polynomial equals x squared, take x, take 2, 1x squared. We still don't know what bx is, but we do know that c is now plus 1. Now we do our equating coefficients. So I look to my next power. In this case, it's x cubed. And the coefficient of x cubed in the expanded form is 2. And I now look to my factored form and I say, how do I get an x cubed? Well, I can get an x cubed by saying x squared times b. So that would give me b x squared. So I write my coefficient there, which is b. Oops, and it shouldn't be, it's cubed. I said cubed and I wrote squared. All right, bx cubed. And then do we get another x cubed anywhere? Well, yes, we do, because x times x squared gives me minus x cubed, and that's got a coefficient of minus 1. So now, get rid of that minus 1, we add 1 to the other side, b is 3. If we go back to this state here, we can now say that our polynomial, our quartic, is now factorized to be, I can go back and factorize that from what we had at the beginning, which was x plus 1, x take 2. My quadratic factor is x squared plus 3x plus 1. And now, it depends on what the question has asked. So if the question said fully factorize it, we check here. I can see pretty quickly that there are no values, so no factors of 1 that add up to give me 3. Okay, so not going to happen. I can't factorize it any further, so that would be it fully factorized. If the question had said, hence find all the zeros, well, from here, I know that x is minus 1 and x is 2. Because we already knew that we couldn't factorize this quadratic, how do I get the zeros? Well, then I would apply the quad formula. All right, so minus b, that'd be minus 3 plus or minus b squared, which is 9, take 4 times a times 1, so times 4 all over 2. So we've got minus 3 plus or minus root 5 over 2. All done and dusted. But again, read what the question is asking. If it just said find a, b, and c, well, then we're done over here because we've got a is 1, a is 1, c is 1, and we ended up with b is 3. If it said fully factorize, well, then we had to write this equation here. If it said state all the zeros, then we had to keep going and do this last bit and state all the zeros. So make sure that you do read the question. All right. Okay, let's try another one on a similar vein. All right, let's go at this question, and the question is that let's find the zeros of this quartic. So the first thing we will do is go to our calculator. We'll go down to equation, Okay, we've got polynomial, got degree 4. I'm going to pop 1. Our coefficients into -8, -9, 18. Okay, we press solve, and as we scooch down, we can see we've got one nice 0 of 2, ew, and another ew, and a nice. All right, so we've got 2 and -3 are our zeros. So using technology, x equals 2, x equals -3 are our zeros. So what we can say from that is that this can factorize to be x take 2, x plus 3, and then we've got a quadratic, and we don't know what that is. So I could put ax squared plus bx plus c, but I already know. Actually, I'll do that. I'll go quad. And like we did with the previous question, to make my life easier, we are going to expand this quad bit here. So it's x squared plus x take 6. Okay, so what would my quadratic be now? So x squared times what gives me x to the 4? Well, it has to be another x squared. We don't know what the middle term is. I do know what the last term is. It's got to be -6 times something gives me positive 18. So pretty confident that that has to be -3. Okay, double check. -6 times -3 does indeed give me positive 18. And now we go to our next power, which is our x cubed. This is all becoming a little bit same, I think. And I hope you feel that too. So the coefficient of x cubed in expanded form is 2. How do I get an x cubed here? Well, x squared times bx. Once again, that gives me bx cubed. So the coefficient is what I put down here. And how else do I get an x cubed? X times x squared, which is now x cubed, and that's got a 1 there. So we say plus 1. Okay, therefore b is, well, 1 plus 1 gives me 2. So I've now got my polynomial is x take 2, x plus 3. My quadratic will be x squared plus 1x take 3. I already know that that's not going to be able to be factorized because from my calculator it gave me hideous answers. But instead of having to do the quad formula again, I can now go to my quadratic here and type in, what was it? It was 1, oh geez, forgot that already. 1, 1 minus 3. Okay, so 1, 1 minus 3 and solve, and we get these. So we've got -1 plus or minus root 13 on 2. So these are now my zeros. And I have solved, and I've given it in exact form. Let's just double check. So 1.3027, if we go back, right, I'm going back to my quartic. Oh, I would have thought it would have stayed in there. 1, 2, -8, -9. I should have written that down. 1 point something or other. Well, hopefully your memory is better than mine. 1.3027. Yes, that was it. Okay, so that was the answer that we got, which corresponds to one of those. So it all works. All right, so feel free, use technology when you can, but you don't always have to.